What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. UFC 321 in Abu Dhabi. Tom Aspinall defending his heavyweight title against Gane. And we got Mackenzie Dern versus Verna Jandiroba. No one wanted that. But this is actually a decent card. The prelims I'm not going to go over. But there's some pretty decent fights on here. I'm just going to do the main card. So you can skip to near the end though when I do Tom Aspinall versus Gane. But I'm going to start off with Alexander Rakic versus Azamat Mirzakhanov. And before I start off with this, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment whatever you want. Just do it. Come on. Alexander Rakic versus Azamat Mirzakhanov, man. If you know me, you know how much I deride Alexander Rakic. So this is actually very hard for me to say, but I think Azamat Mirzakhanov is gonna TKO or KO Alexander Rakic probably in the first or second round. Probably with body shots against the body shots will be the start, and an overhand right will be the finish against the cage. Man, if you look at Alexander Rakic, he's the most talented. He's basically the best fighter of all time. I've had high hopes for Alexander Rakic. I picked him to beat Yuri. He should have beat Yuri. He was beating Yuri, and then Yuri Prohaska is Yuri Prohaska. I picked him to beat Ankalaev, and he was pretty close to doing so, but his coaching, I think, is what lost him that. And his mindset a little bit, man. I'm going to go with Azamat Mirzakhanov. The size difference does worry me about picking Azamat Mirzakhanov, but it's kind of like that for everyone for Azamat, being in the 205 division, right? Because he looks like a middleweight, but he's thick, he's strong, he's very powerful. I was going to say the leg kicks for Rakic are going to be a problem for Azamat, which they're a problem for anyone Rakic goes against, but I just think Rakic is going to be on the back foot mostly, especially with Azamat, and he's not going to want to go into the pocket with him, right? I could see Rakic head kick KOing Azamat, and I would love for that. I'm praying for that to happen. But I think as far as both of their mindsets and how they fight, Rakic is going to be on the back foot, and he's going to get caught going back against the cage, trying to circle. Azamat's probably going to throw a left hook to the body, a right upstairs, come back down with the left hook, and then come up with a right again. I think it like low-key in a similar sequence to what Ilia Topuria did to Jai Herbert, except obviously like a little less technical. And I don't think he'll put out Rakic like that, but I think he'll definitely do it against the cage. Rakic getting caught against the cage. I really hate to say that, man, because I love Alexander Rakic. I think he could be like one of the best 205ers we've ever seen, but it's his game plans and maybe coaching, I think, that has limited him. So yeah. Now Jailton Almeida versus Alexander Volkov. What this card really should be is Gane versus Jailton Almeida, and Tom Aspinall versus Volkov for the rematch. Because we all know Alexander Volkov beat Gane, but he got robbed. Pretty disgusting how it happened, but whatever. The fight was closer than I thought. I did rewatch it, but I still thought Volkov won. Obviously won round 3, and pretty obviously won round 2. And there's an argument for round 1 too, So whatever. This fight at first, I was thinking this is not good for Volkov. It's not a good stylistic matchup. But then I looked at it. I think the size is always a thing when fighting Volkov. But man, I think Volkov's too lanky for Jailton to be able to do anything to him on the ground. I actually don't think... I think Jailton will take down Volkov. Anyone can take down Alexander Volkov. I would take down Volkov. Come on, guys. Put me in there with him. But I don't think he finishes Volkov. And I think after doing that... Now, Jailton has very good cardio. His cardio is underrated. No one talks about his cardio that much. I think it's going to be hard even shooting on Volkov, too. I know his legs are right there for you to get, but his his takedown defense has gotten a lot better. Actually, it hasn't gotten a lot better, but his grappling on the ground, not his takedown defense isn't that good, but once he's on the ground, he's actually he's pretty hard to finish. You got to be like a Tom Aspinall to do that, right? I don't think, man, Jailton really could. He could finish Volkov on the ground, but I don't think he does. And when they're on the feet, Volkov is definitely slower than Jailton on the feet. Maybe even a little less powerful, right? But I think Volkov's just too lanky, man. And he's so calculated with his shots, and he picks the right shots. I I think Volkov TKO's Jailton in the second round with a counter shot. Jailton coming in, and it's gonna be after excuse me. It's gonna be after Volkov losing the first round pretty badly. I think Jailton will take him down and control him for most of the first round, but I don't see him finishing Volkov. Now, Jailton Almeida against Sergey Spivak, that was very impressive doing what he did, knocking him out on the feet. But you're not going to do that to Volkov. And Volkov is too technical. I think Jailton's going to get caught coming in. It's going to be like a Volkov stepping back and with a counter hook, wobbles Jailton, and I think he TKOs Jailton in the second round. I believe Volkov, I don't think he's definitely slowed down physically, right? But mentally, I don't believe he has. That Sorel Gane performance, very impressive. Before that, that Sergey Pavlovich performance was very impressive. People forget about that. That's why I chose him to beat Sorel Gane. And he did, but he got robbed. And before that, what was it? Tai Tuivasa. I can't even remember. But Volkov, he's so calculated on the feet. And I just think he catches Jailton coming in. I don't think Jailton can reach and has the IQ to really do much to Volkov on the feet. So yeah, I'm gonna go Volkov second round TKO. Umar versus Bautista. This is a sick fight. I've been wanting this for a while too. Yeah, I think it was actually not for a while. Ever since the Patchy Mix and Mario Bautista fight, I was like, they gotta make this fight, right? At first, when they first announced this, I was like, Umar's gonna piece up Mario Bautista, and I still think that. But Mario Bautista's boxing is definitely better than Umar's. Umar's boxing is not as good as people say, you know. But I think it's gonna be Umar's hands that do the most damage this fight, for a simple reason, or no, for a simple move he does is he'll fake a knee or just go for a knee and throw a 1-2. A lot of fighters do that, especially in the smaller divisions. Umar, he knocked out Raoni Barcelos with it. He rocked Merab with it. He'll lift up his left knee and then come in with a jab and a right straight. I believe he will get Mario Bautista with that a couple times. And man, Umar's going to time the takedowns right. People forget, man. People forget, man. Look at what he did to Merab. He was able to control Merab. He was able to take down Merab. And I just think Mario Bautista's footwork it's actually very good. It's not flat-footed, but I think it's just flat-footed enough for Umar to time his shots right. And I think if Khabib's in the corner, I assume Khabib's back in it. He's back in their camp ever since the last few fights. Khabib's back to coaching, even though he doesn't like it. He's going to be telling Umar to wrestle. And man, I don't think he finishes Mario Bautista because Mario Bautista has very elite grappling. If you watch Mario Bautista, you know his grappling is very, very good. But I don't see Mario Bautista going offensive with his grappling against Umar. And if he does want to even try to do that, Umar, his reattacks are very good. He did a couple against Merab. His sprawl and reattacks, very good. Taking the back. That's exactly what he would do to Bautista, but worse, right? I believe first round is going to be Umar really leg kicking from the outside, chucking those 1-2s down the middle. But it's mostly going to be Mario Bautista pushing the pace, right? He's going to be trying to walk Umar down, but it's just not going to work, you know? And seeing Umar go 5 rounds with Corey Sandhagen and outstrike him for all 5 rounds, or at least bare minimum 3 of those rounds, he outstruck Corey Sandhagen. I think he's just gonna. It's gonna be Mario Bautista following Umar around, Umar kicking from the outside, damaging Mario Bautista's legs, and Mario Bautista being, I think he's a southpaw. That could be actually a struggle for Umar. But his lead kick, his left kick, it's like a jab, man. It comes from nowhere. It's very impressive. Umar Nurmagomedov and like Natalia Silva have a very similar kick. Their lead leg, that kick is just like a jab. It comes out of nowhere. It's just like a punch. I believe he'll get Bautista with that a lot. First round be kind of boring, and I think Umar times the takedowns properly at the end of rounds. With 2 minutes to go, a minute to go, he'll time the takedown, and I believe he gets it every time. I don't think he finishes. I don't think he does much with Bautista on the ground once they get on the ground. But yeah, I just don't see it happening. I just don't see Bautista being able to do what he wants against Umar. I think Umar dictates what happens, but Bautista is the one going forward, but Umar is dictating everything. Now, and also one reason why I think Bautista is going at this a little wrong is I saw it, and I know it's such a small thing to say and like use against him and with picking this fight, but I saw in that Mike Perry interview, Mario Bautista says Umar slows down once the going gets tough or whatever the saying is. That's such a bad mindset going into this, saying you're gonna win a fight because the other guy slows down once it gets tough. Umar didn't slow down against Merab. His body did just a little bit, right? And he almost won the 5th round. Umar was very close to winning that fight against Merab. And we're gonna now. Bautista has good cardio, right? But is it as good as Umar's? We don't know. I don't know. So, and would he do the same against Merab? No, he wouldn't. Maybe he would. I don't know. But Umar has good cardio, and especially this is a 3 round fight. It's not a 5 rounder. It's a 3 round fight where Umar doesn't have to worry about pacing himself as much. I think Umar just dictates everything. I think he catches Mario with that fake knee to a 1-2, stepping forward, switching stances. I think he kicks from the outside while Bautista pressures him. The most I see happening here is at like the end of the first round, if they're on the feet, I think Mario Bautista will hit like Umar with a 1-2, and Umar will kind of fall back a little bit, similar to what Alexander Volkanovski did to Islam Makhachev in their first fight, where I think it was at the end of round one or mid round one, Volkanovski hit and rocked back Islam, but that's the most that Bautista is gonna do to Umar, I believe. So I got Umar unite 30-27 easily. I think it's an easy 30-27 for Umar. Now Verna Jandiroba versus Mackenzie Dern. Hey, I think this is it's gonna be an alright fight. I actually think it's gonna be more entertaining because I think Mackenzie Dern is gonna be going in there with that King Von mentality. Like, police said they watching, red alert. I'm dating. You know what I'm saying? With it, she has that strap on and she's gonna be going in there. And I think Mackenzie Dern will take this fight just because of. I think the fight's going to come down to who shoots first, who's going to be shooting first, and who's going to be pressuring mostly. And I think it's Mackenzie Dern, man. She pressures. And if it goes to a close decision, they're going to choose Dern. I'm going to go Mackenzie Dern 3-2, 48-47, maybe even 49-46. And I think it's whoever shoots first. And I think Mackenzie Dern is going to be shooting first. She'll get some takedowns. There's going to be a lot of clinches, but I'm going to go Mackenzie Dern. Now, Verna Jandiroba could have a physicality advantage here. I do think she's stronger, but, I think it'll be kind of similar to their first fight. But I don't really think their first fight means anything. They're different fighters now. Or they're not really different fighters, but it's 5 years later, So, yeah, I got Mackenzie Dern. Unanimous decision, maybe split decision. Guys, Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. This is the fight of the century. The fight of the year isn't the fight of the year. That's Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena is the fight of the year. But Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. We've been waiting for this fight because they're supposed to fight for 2 years, and stuff has happened with the division. We all know what happened with that Diddy Light guy, who I'm not even gonna name him, right? I'm gonna go Tom Aspinall. At first, when this fight was booked, I was thinking, Ciryl Gane, his leg kicks could be a problem. Then I watched his fights back. I think Tom Aspinall chins him in one, in probably the first 2 minutes. It's going to be a typical Tom Aspinall performance. Tom Aspinall goes in there bouncing around, fake shots, leg kick, fainting, and just he's gonna. I think it's gonna be Ciryl Gane overextending on his shots. In that Volkov fight, Ciryl Gane looks so slow. He's not even that fast. He really isn't. I think it was the Sergey Spivak fight that was almost like 2 years ago or whatever, right after Ciryl Gane fought that Diddy guy. Ciryl Gane is like when it's not just like a kickboxing fight. I think he hasn't faced anyone like Tom Aspinall. He really hasn't. He's not going to be able to go in there like he did against Volkov, standing there really slow, able to trying to pick his shots properly, having a tit for tat kickboxing match. You can't do that with Aspinall. Ciryl Gane's gonna go in there, and I know obviously he's preparing for this, but man, who can you really prepare it with? It's gonna be really hard. Is that a QR code Tom Aspinall has tattooed? No, it isn't. What am I talking about? Besides the point, man, Tom Aspinall is so fast. And he slimmed down a little bit. He's gotten even in better shape. If he's gotten faster, that worries me a lot for Ciryl Gane. So it says here Ciryl Gane's like 245, right? My guess, yeah, he probably comes in around 245 for the fights. It says 255 for Tom Aspinall. My guess, this fight, Tom Aspinall is going to be like 240, 245 for this fight. I think he's going to be faster. And man, when you have Tom Aspinall in front of you, I'm not saying this like from my experience because I've never had Tom Aspinall in front of me, but I just don't see Ciryl Gane. He's too slow, and this style, he kind of obviously like there's no style that really can stop the speed of Aspinall at heavyweight, right? Yes, there is actually, but he kind of fights like this, and then in a kickboxing match where he tries to go at his pace, but you simply can't do that against Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is gonna just pressure him. I think Ciryl Gane's gonna be like, oh shit. I think Ciryl Gane shits the bed. I think Tom Aspinall he rises to the occasion. When all the pressure's on him, he rises. All the pressure is on Tom Aspinall this fight, and I mean all of it. If Tom Aspinall loses, man, I'll probably never post a YouTube video again, man. I'll probably start crying on the spot. If Tom Aspinall loses, I gotta question a lot of things in life. I gotta really. Am I recording? Yeah, I am. I gotta really consider, I don't know, I might move to Africa if Tom Aspinall loses and go live with like some tribe in the middle of nowhere because I just wouldn't know what to do with myself. And I don't think the world is so cruel to make Tom Aspinall lose. Tom Aspinall has to win. We all know why. I'm not going to mention why, but we all know why. So much pressure is on Tom Aspinall to do good, and I think he does it. And I know he will do it. He's gonna 1-2 Ciryl Gane. I don't think he'll 1-2. I just don't see how Ciryl Gane can improve so much from that Volkov fight and be able to adjust so much, because I saw so many openings there where it's like Tom Aspinall's going to expose you. And let's say Tom Aspinall's not doing that good on the feet. He's going to rugby tackle Ciryl Gane and he will submit him. Tom Aspinall has very good grappling. Ciryl Gane, I don't think has good counter grappling. Actually, he does kind of. I don't think he's as strong as Tom Aspinall. I think Tom Aspinall's faster, has better technique. Tom Aspinall is going to run through Gane. Coming, when is this fight? October 25th, Saturday, Abu Dhabi. It'll be in the morning for me. It'll probably be, or it'll be in the afternoon for me. Probably be in the afternoon for a lot of you guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment whatever you want. Let me know in the comments what video I should do next. Let me know your picks for this main card. I like this main card a lot. It's interesting. And I'm really curious. And I'm very excited. Every Tom Aspinall fight you're excited for. And this one I'm very excited for. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and peace out.